And you already know what it is. Jay Williams, let's live life, and we're back. I want to do a little something right here in the beginning real quick before we even start the video. I want to say congratulations to my homeboy, Woody Wood. I'm getting married yesterday. Yesterday I went out to Hampton. It was a beautiful, beautiful service, man. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Maria. Saw my homeboy BJ from prison. Big BJ Hulk Smash. We talked about BJ when I interviewed Woody, and Woody had talked about his mom passing away. And this dude, man, good friend of mine, BJ saw him, was like, come here, and just gave him a big hug and held him. He was like, don't do anything stupid, man. I'm standing there yesterday, and we did the whole ceremony, and Woody and his wife, they walked, after they got married, they walked down the aisle, back down the aisle. We're walking that way. I ain't gonna lie, I had a little tear in my eye. It's a beautiful moment, right? Just a little piece of a tear. And I hear somebody say, man, I know you ain't crying, man. And I look up, and I recognize the face, but I'm not placing it. It's been a long time. My homeboy's put on even more weight. He was already a big muscular dude, but he's put on more size. And he looked at me as soon as he smiled. Biggest grin popped on my face, and I just reached out, grabbed him, and hugged him. I've been trying to get in touch with you, man. Where you been? So we laughed, we joked, kicked it for a while, and just like that, my homeboy Woody's married. Got to give y'all something else before the video starts. We have merged. I've linked accounts with Rumble. A lot of people say they don't see Rumble going nowhere. Well, I'm going to tell you this. This is my thoughts. Something always comes along bigger and better. It's been proven time and time again. It's not even a disputable fact. Something will eventually take out YouTube. Could it be Rumble? Who knows what it's going to be? But what I do know is Rumble is starting to grow. And with Rumble, I can talk unedited. No filter. No censorship. I can get my thing off. I can talk the way I want to talk. And I enjoy that. So what I'll be doing is I'll be dropping the unedited version on Rumble, and then the YouTube family-friendly community guidelines version on YouTube. But we're linking the two accounts. I've uploaded, I think now we're at almost 50 videos on Rumble. And these are videos that are all from my YouTube channel, right? Videos that have been around, some are new, some are old. But it seems like one out of, I don't know, every 5, every 10, you download the video and then you upload the video to Rumble. Well, somehow when you upload to Rumble, every now and then one of them's getting kicked back over to YouTube, and it's uploading to YouTube. I love my followers. I love my community, people that support me. You guys are amazing. And the beautiful thing in comments is you get to also see who opposes you. So I caught a bunch of, oh, he's running out of content. I couldn't do nothing but kind of chuckle at the just overall stupidity of that type of comment. Let's make this clear, right? I want you to understand this real quick. I hate that I have to break it down, but I do. Prison, crime, stuff of that nature will never go anywhere. Therefore, prison content will never go anywhere. I could just interview inmates for the rest of my days. I can talk about true crime and things going on in the world the rest of my days. Anything I can pretty much think of, I can Google it, and I guarantee it happened somewhere in the world this year. So to say there's a shortage of prison stories or prison-related content, or that somebody could run out of that type of stuff, I could see that happening if you're a guy that can't think outside the box. If you've got a one-track mind and that's all you can do, I can see it. Being in the prison genre thing, people think that you just have to talk about you. You just have to talk about your experiences. It is the prison genre. I can talk about anything crime-related, prison-related, jail-related, which is just an everyday thing in the world. So no, I didn't re-upload any videos. A lot of people enjoyed seeing the videos go back up and say, hey, this is awesome. I love this video. It was great to watch it again. A big shout out, big salute to everybody that supports the channel and that showed love. Without y'all, there would be no me. That was a very long opening. let's get into the reason we're here today. Get these rookie COs, these officers that come in. Most of them come in feeling like they've got something to prove. Feeling like they got to show everybody that respect my authority. Like it don't matter if they're 10 foot tall, 4 foot tall. They have the same type of poke their chest out. Like, come on, man. Don't nobody, just do your job. Don't got to do all that. Don't come here trying to be super aggressive, trying to throw your weight around and get yourself hurt. Get us all put on lock. Somebody here is definitely going to ring your bell. It's bad when one of those rookies runs up on a real convict. A man that's been in and out of prison his whole life, that enjoys fighting, that knows how to fight, that is good in groups of other men when it comes to fighting, that knows how to maneuver, situations involving 6, 7, 8 other men. He's good at that. It's not a problem to him. And here you come along thinking that because you got some keys and a walkie-talkie, and they done gave your little dumbass a uniform, you can disrespect the man. You don't know nothing about him. He ain't never going home. So no matter what he does to you today, guess what? He ain't never going home. Get in there and do your job. Make sure that you go home. Mess with the wrong guy, you just might not. Now we all know in the end, the guards, they always win. There's too many of them. They have too much stuff, too many shields and pads and sprays and devices that eventually they're going to win. Even if it means they got to put a bullet in you, they're eventually going to win. But in Spud's story and today's story, it wasn't no easy win. I'll just leave it at that. When messing with the wrong convict goes wrong. Rookies thinking they run things 8 versus 1 and they still couldn't hold that man. But all that being said, you know how to see it, you know how to live it. So let's relive it. I think it's a no-brainer to say they should probably rework the whole process of becoming a correctional officer. All you've got to do to be a CO is not have any felony convictions, domestic violence, anything like that. Have a driver's license and be over the age of 18. So here you are, a grown man, a whole entire grown man, 30, 40, 50 years old, and you have an 18, 19, 20. This guy can't even buy a beer, but he's in here bossing you around. The requirements of being a CO, it says it all. They'll take anybody. I've seen guys that were overweight to the point that going from point A to point B looked like it was going to put them in cardiac arrest. And then I've seen guys that you look like you can literally blow over. I've seen them come huge, big and jacked up, to small, frail, skinny, little lanky body dudes come in. Now, it's always interesting when you get a new rookie. Most of these vets, these COs that have been around for a while, they know the process. They want a smooth day. They don't want to be taking people to the hole. They don't want to be fighting. They don't want to be arguing. They come in, they do their job, they keep it moving. If you need something, you're not annoying, you're not somebody gets underneath their skin, they're going to help you out. But if you're the guy that's always writing paperwork, writing him up, always at the booth asking for something, you might get some kickback. But you knew what to expect with these guys. Those are the COs I can respect. The ones that every single day, they're the same exact way. When you see him come through that door, all right, who's that? All right, man, we know what time it is with him. With these rookies, it's a whole new world. I've seen the rookies come in and you can see them. They're like little deer, scared to death, especially when they're young. You're talking 19, 20 years old, ain't never really been in the streets like this before, ain't never been around this caliber of men. Here it is, they walk in, and they're responsible for everybody in here. They're supposed to keep the peace, and if something happens, run in that direction. I've seen them actually run in the opposite direction and lock doors, just clang, shutting doors as they were running, and that'd be their last day. But with the rookies, it's always interesting because you don't know what you're going to get. Is this dude going to go on to bring the pack in? Is this going to be a cool dude that you can laugh and joke with? Or is he going to be somebody, I'm writing you up. Oh, what'd you do? Oh, I'm writing you up. Hey, I told you. A lot of times these rookies come in and it's like they have something to prove. So a guy that ain't been in no trouble in years, that's looking to go home based on his good conduct, wants to keep it that way. Now this guard comes in and writes him up for the smallest thing, and you've now just jeopardized his chances of going home. You've just now jeopardized your life. Seen a lot of rookies come and go over the years. Seen rookies come in as rookies, and by the time I leave, they be lieutenants. I've seen them come in as rookies, and in 6 months to a year, be a sergeant. Some guys were just made for this. But then you've got some guys that should never, I repeat, never, ever be in a position of authority. We got a dude in our pod named Spud. A lot of guys know Spud. Pretty much everybody knew who Spud was. Got that Sylvester Stallone build, but he had that body that you can only achieve from lifting penitentiary weights. You don't never see this type of physique out in the real world. And if you do, that guy's usually been locked up. Spud is one of these guys, you don't have to ask him if he's going home. You take one look at him, you can tell he has no release date. People left that man alone for the most part. He had his dudes he kicked with, old school dudes have been through the system for a while, had no, racist bones in his body, didn't really care who you were, just as long as you left him alone, let him do his thing. I would watch this dude start his day off by running 5 miles. We'd go out for record, he would drop down and bang out a whole bunch of push-ups, run all the way around the track, stop, bang out a whole bunch of push-ups, run all the way around the track, and he would continue doing that the entire rec period. Then he would come out at the lunch rec period and kind of walk with his dudes, talk with his dudes, smoke, do what they do, and then in the evening he would come out and he'd really go hard on the weight pile. This man is the definition of a convict. He doesn't bother nobody, minds his business, handles his own. I had heard stories of in the past. I heard a story where the gang members tried to jump Spud when he first got there, and he pretty much broke them boys off and had them boys running in different directions, and then that was it. I'd heard another story where he got into it with a dude one time that mentioned knife play, and Spud went to his cell and actually threw a knife on his bed and was like, pick it up. I was going to wait on the man to pick the knife up, and had he picked the knife up, he came on into the cell and did what he had to, and the man didn't want no parts of that knife. Spud was one of those dudes. Calm, quiet, laid back, but the type of man you want to leave alone. He's in here because he's already taken somebody's life. So the possibility of him taking yours is pretty high. What does he have to lose? Nothing. We get this session of new officers, and we would see the officers come in before they would actually get hired. They would walk them in their street clothes. It was kind of a tradition for us to show off when these new officers came in. It'd be a sergeant or a lieutenant, and he'd come to the door, and we'd all be locked in our cells. They usually wouldn't do it with the doors open. Every now and then, we'd be out in the day room when they come in. We'd be in our cells during count, and this sergeant would come through with another officer, and then they'd have a whole little group of scragglers behind them, which would go on to be correctional officers. Some of them would take that first walk through and be like, yeah, I'm never, ever coming back here again. This is scary. This ain't for me. I'm going to get a job at Dollar Tree. But they come through walking through, and you would see this every few months. We get a rookie. Somebody's done quit. People done got fired. Officers got transferred. They've got a shortage. Always hiring new DOC employees. They would usually put the rookie on a shift with an officer that had been there a while. Now this officer's going to show him the ropes, give him the rundown. Hey, look, these buttons do this. Guys got to be in by this time. If this happens, do this. They would give them the ropes. But you got some officers like the officer in today's story that just want to do things their way. They want to, I don't know why you would want to try to poke your chest out and come into a place like that and try to big boy people, but you get a lot of them officers. Well, we got a younger black dude, and when I'm telling you dude was young, he might have been old enough to drink. And if he was old enough to drink, 22 was his max when he came to his age. Now, he's a regular dude. He doesn't look like a street dude. He doesn't look like a dude that grew up around any of this. Doesn't look like there's any possibility that anybody here could be his homeboy. This dude reminded me of Carlton. You're way outside of your comfort zone, homeboy. Stay in your lane. Right out the gate, what does this dude do? He comes in his first day and he's walking by cells. Hey, sir, excuse me. Can you take that down? Hey, can you? He's barking orders at people. And you got people to talk to. Hey, man, get the fuck out of here. Get your dumb ass out of here, man. Come in here trying to run shit. Hey, get your green ass out of here, rookie. That's what we do. We try to apply pressure on him, make him nervous, right? Hey, man, get out of it. Like, dudes are yelling at him. Well, about to say, hey, can you take that, man? Fuck you. What's your name? Give me your ID. Man, fuck you. My name is I ain't got no ID. Get away from my cell. Dude started carrying him. All he should have done was just walk through, got a feel for the place, got to know the guys, let the guys get to know him. That's how respect is built. You're not going to get no respect coming in there, barking orders. Hey, do this, do that. Ain't nobody your kid in here, and you're not built like that. He goes by Spud's cell, tells Spud, excuse me, sir, I need you to remove that towel from the window. It's hot in them cells in the summertime. We have no AC. That window lets in an enormous amount of heat. You could feel the bed. The bed just heats up from the glare coming into the glass. So you would take a towel and put it on the bars and block out the light. It's just so hot, so miserable. There's some days you just lay in there underneath your fan just like, is this it, God? It's the day to day. Is this how I'm going to die? I'm just going to lay in this bed and melt. Tell Spud, excuse me, sir. Hey, I need you to take the towel out the window. Spud's got his back to him doing something. Spud tells him, fuck away from my cell, man. It's hot. What's your name? Don't worry about my name is, man. Get away from my cell. It's hot. He goes on about his business, telling other people what to do. Some comply, some don't. Walks by my cell. I'm sitting in the bunk. I look up at him. He looks in at me. Can I help you with something? And he looks back in, starts looking around. So, what you lose something? Now, he has got a piece of paper, and he has written all these charges. There's a rack of names on this paper. And everyone he's got, disobeying a direct order, covering the light, profane language. Like, this dude is going in on the writing charges on dudes. So we fast forward a little bit. Y'all got to forgive my voice. I just got it with strep throat. We fast forward a little bit. This rookie has been on maybe a month, maybe going on 2 months now. Anytime he comes on, our lives are miserable. He can't just go somewhere and sit down. No, he's one of those walk around all day, running his mouth, write charges. He's done got comfortable. As a guard, you should never get but so comfortable. He done got to the point now where it went from the, excuse me, sir, to, hey, take this shit out the window. He's starting to bark. Got a little chip on his shoulder. Pokes his chest out when he talks. He made several comments to Spud now about this window. The man's got light. The man don't bother nobody. And the last thing they want Spud to do is flip out. Spud's a fighter. You see it. His physique says it. The way he carries himself, holds his shoulders. You can look at the man and know without knowing he fights. You know he fights. Kind of like, tell me you fight without telling me you fight. He's one of those guys. I don't know if Spud just woke up mad that he had a life sentence. If on this day he just decided, I'm going to hurt somebody. If he had enough of the officer writing him up. He was a dude that for the most part, everybody left alone. Here he comes one day. He comes in the pod. Now I'm in the middle of tattooing. They whoop whoop. They say floor's wet. And when you hear that, that lets you know the guard is in the pod. I hear it. Whoop whoop. Floor's wet. So I stop what I'm doing. I tell dude I'm tattooing, hey, lay back on the bunk. Act like you sleep. You're not supposed to be in other people's cell. So when the guard walks by, he's going to see somebody laying on the bunk and see their back. And I leave up out the cell. I'm going to wait till he's done. Once he leaves up out of here, I'll go back in, I'll go to tattooing. I look over, I see the guard stop at Spud's cell. Hey, take the towel off the window. And I don't know what Spud said, but the guard went in the cell. And no sooner than he went in the cell, you heard that crack. Spot! And he flew backwards out the cell and slid across the floor. Spud come out, stood over top of it. I done told you about fucking with me. Why you wanna? And he punches him again, reaches down and he's laying on the floor. And he knocked dude all the way out. This dude come out the cell on some matrix. Like his feet go up off the ground, his body bent in half, and he flew backwards out the cell, hit the floor, slid, and laid there. He's not moving, he's not twitching, no signs of activity. Spud stands over top of him. I done told you, tags him again. Boom! Now the first time he hit him, I don't know if that opened him up, and it just took some time for him to bleed as he was laying there. When Spud hit him the second time, that opened him up. But when he hit him that second time, that's when all the blood appeared. Spud goes back inside the cell. To me, that's insane. You just knocked the guard out. They're going to bury you in the jail. You're going to jail forever. Jail is the hope. Once you hit that guard, you know you're going up in the mountains with them rednecks. You can spend the next 5-10 years there. But as a life, and most of them take that trip anyway. Spud goes in the cell. To me, this is kind of curious. Like you just knocked this dude all the way out and just went back in the cell like nothing happened. The guard on the microphone screams the common code. Lock it down, lock it down. Carlton is asleep in the middle of the floor. Spud goes in the cell, and it wouldn't be but about 30 seconds after that, he comes back out, and the man is glistening. When I'm telling you he's glistening, he's glistening. Like this man is in the cell, covered himself in baby oil. He's ready to wreck. He knows they're coming to get him. He knows he just knocked one of those out. He knows that when they come in there, they're going to do him dirty. Well, that baby lotion, baby oil, that's an old convict trick. Make yourself slippery as a fish so that when they go to get you, they can't get you. Hard to grab a man that's covered in baby oil. Spud comes on out and she starts locking doors. You see all the cell doors closing. Clang, clang. I tell dude, get out of my cell, man. Spud knocked the guard out. Get out of my cell. Dude's got a half a tattoo. What you mean, get out the cell? Get out the cell. They locking the cells. Boom, he shoots over this cell. I go in the cell. Me and my cellie stand at the door. Spud is now pacing in the day room, walking around. Shirt off, jacked all the way up. If you can imagine an inmate on steroids that took too much, that's Spud. They come in. At first, it's any reporting officer in the nearby vicinity. Just before they call the CERT team. CERT team is like the goon squad, the men in black, the guys with the shields. So the door opens. About 5 officers come running in. One of them takes off in the direction. We'll just call him Carlton. Checks on Carlton. Carlton's knocked out on the floor. Grabs Carlton, trying to get him up. He's unresponsive. He's laying there leaking. He's knocked out. He's smashed all the way out. Spud done split his potato. You got these other officers who run up on Spud. They put your hands behind your back. Now, we got a big, burly officer. And the dude had a beard. For the guys who was up there, he's an older dude, big black man with a gray beard. He runs up on Spud. Put your hands behind your back. Don't resist. Spud takes off on him. Pop, bang! Hits his big dude. Buckles his knees. Don't knock him out, but he drops him. Another officer reaches out, tries to grab Spud. Spud pulls away from him, turns around. Pop, pop! Drops him. There are now 3 officers on the floor, and there's a 4th one standing there. There's another one over there trying to help the other officer. One officer that didn't get hit backs up, throws his hands up. Whoa. He backs out the door, helps the other lady grab the man that's knocked out. Spud continues to pace. Now you got 2 officers on the ground. One knocked out that's been pulled out the pod. This is when we know it's about to get bad. These 2 officers slowly make their way up and they exit the pod. Spud is still pacing. He's dripping. He's got baby oil on everything but his boots. You're not going to grab a hold of him. I would say it took a better part of about 10-15 minutes, and you could hear them outside the door. You can hear the radios, you can hear the gear, them clicking together, stuff buckling. They come in. They send their big dude in. They always send the big dude with the shield first. He tries to rush Spud. Spud spins off of him, grabs the shield, and slings the man across the floor. They rush him. Like I'm talking about rush him like a group. Spud squeezes up out of him. Nobody can grab him. They're trying to grab onto clothes because you can't grab his arms, you can't grab his body. Spud peels up out the circle, and it was like they closed in on him. And the next thing you know, he reappeared on the outside of the circle and just started swinging. Flom. You got a couple of these officers that are trying to trade blows with him, and they would be the first to hit the floor. When it's all said and done, we watch this whole thing take place for probably a better part of 2.5 minutes. Spud rumbled these guards in the middle of the pod. At one point, it was 8 of them. At one point, I look out and there's like 4 of them laying on the floor. The 2 that were previously laid out have made their way out the pod. Carlton's made his way out the pod. You've got 4 men in black laid out on the floor and a whole bunch more still trying to grab Spud. Spud has got endurance. He has got stamina, and he's got that freight train hit power. They're trying to grab him. Can't get him. He's running, lumping. Circling these dudes to the point that they don't know what to do. Don't nobody want to get hit. You get too close, you get tagged, you're going to get knocked out. Take a look around you. This is a bad day to be a correctional officer. You got some officers that are fairly new and don't even know what to do. They're looking at him like they want to rush in, but you look over, you see these other guards knocked out like they're kind of, it's like playing hopscotch, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, who's going to do what? And anybody that ever get close to him, Spud will hook off, start swinging. It gets to a point where they finally get him. Spud swings on one dude, another officer does the oops, gotcha, and clips his feet, kicks his feet from underneath of him. Spud hits the floor. They pile on top of this man. When I mean pile on top of him, flown. Leapfrog on top of him and pin him down. They're still having troubles getting handcuffs on him. They've got baby oil on them. They've got these gloves. Now their gloves got baby oil on. It's a slippery situation. They finally get the cuffs on Spud, right? And when they had Spud on the ground, they do him like they do us all. Did him real dirty. Now I've had what I'm about to say happen to me. And it was one of the few times I actually thought I was going to lose my life because I couldn't breathe. I was throwing up. It was just the worst thing possible. Spud's on the ground and he's steadily running his mouth, and as he's got his mouth open, the officer takes a can down there, and you see the can go fink against his teeth and sprays the spray in his mouth, and it's just spraying it up and down his face, at which point he starts choking, gagging, coughing, foam's coming out. You got officers punching him. Realistically, when it was all said and done, they had somewhere around 20 officers in that pod trying to grab a hold of Spud, and not one of them could see him one-on-one. Spud did exactly what I said he did. He peeled them boys' potatoes, split their wigs. They would end up taking Spud to the hole, and that would be the end of Spud. We stayed on lock pending investigation. He broke some of their jaws, broke eye sockets, split foreheads, broke noses. Spud did his thing. Some of them officers that got beat up that day went on to become sergeants. I never understood that. How does getting beat up make you a sergeant? You got beat up, now you get to be sergeant? Bunch of officers quit. And that's the story of 8 versus 1. Spud, if you ever get your hands on a phone and you happen to see this, hey, I salute you, man. You may have lost in the end, but we all know you didn't lose. It took everything they had to take that man to the ground. It took all of them piling on top of him like a cartoon. Like you would see some frat house dude jump on top of a dude. It was literally, they were jumping and using their body weight to pin him down, hoping that he didn't squirm out from underneath them and catch them with one of them big ass biceps he had. Spud had fists on him that looked almost cartoonish. Like his forearms were just too big for his body, and his hands were like twice the size they should have been. Crazy, 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 crazy. Spud, though, the knockout king. What up, though? That's what happens when the rookie gets out of pocket and tries the wrong one. Some of the men are locked up for a reason. I'm not going to say Spud deserves to be in prison for life. I don't know all the logistics of Spud's case and why he ended up in prison. I know he was a killer. I know he ain't never going home. And I know that any of them DOC employees that day that ran up on Spud will never forget his name. And I guarantee you, we never saw that rookie again after that. I don't know. I can, if he did stay in Department of Corrections, they moved him to another prison. Because all the respect he ever thought of getting was gone. In the moment that he went in that cell and we seen him do the Matrix and come back was out that cell and Spud stand on top of him and hit him that second time and lay him all the way out, oh, respect was gone. You can't come in here barking orders no more after we watched you get knocked out, homeboy. But yeah, that was a good day. Maybe not a good day to be a DOC employee, but it was a good day for us. It was very entertaining. I've seen a bunch of situations where one man ran around the pod and handled his business. But if I had to think of one dude besides Crazy L, because Crazy L dumped a hot pot on him, was beating him with mop handles, he went all the way in. But Spud, accompanied with them big ass fists, that life sentence and that baby oil, was a whole nother problem for them men. Well, as y'all know, it is Monday. I've just got home. I'm going to get in the pool. It's hot. I've missed y'all. You know, I love y'all guys even more than y'all love me. But anyways, these jails, these penitentiaries, these COs, these rookies, all just crazy worlds inside of a already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. Just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. And to all my real ones, and the awesome real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute.